I'm Professor Julia Jones from Bangor University, and here I am at COP26, the most important climate summit since the Paris Climate Agreement was signed in 2015. And the whole world is here, literally every country, indigenous peoples groups, civil society, they're here in Glasgow, all with a single aim: to agree to find a way of keeping global warming below 1.5 degrees. Is that possible? Well, there's certainly a lot of concern and certainly not naive optimism. There's a lot of reality being talked about here. But as I say, the stakes could not be higher.
Today here at COP has been a big day for forests, and given that's what I work on how to make forest conservation more effective and more equitable. It's been quite an exciting day. So world leaders this morning announced, 100 world leaders, their commitment to stop deforestation by the end of the decade. Now, there's a fair amount of scepticism about whether this is practical and what the details of the plan are. Those are still, I think, to be worked out, but it's certainly a very positive move because there's real money behind this commitment. So watch this space.
Okay, so it's day 3 now of COP, and I've spent most of today in discussions around how we can turn these commitments, these leaders' pledges of stopping deforestation by 2030 into reality. So I was particularly involved in a session about the finance side. How can we get sustainable finance unlocked to really support forests as a nature-based solution for climate change? And I must say, the discussion was really, really good. We had a minister from Madagascar and some very senior people from Rwanda and Korea and from the FAO, and it was a truly insightful session. So that was today. Let's see what tomorrow holds. So it's day 4 now. I've just come out of one of the negotiation rooms, and that's the real heart of COP. That's where the business actually happens, where each country is represented and they're going through various bits of text of the Paris Agreement with a fine-tooth comb, really looking at the details of what implementation of the Paris Agreement means. So it's quite a kind of heavy process, but it's a hugely, hugely important process because, you know, big statements made by leaders, they're all very well, but the devil's always in the detail. So, you know how Greta always says, listen to the science? Well, it does feel to me, at least, that people here at COP really are listening to the science. Wherever I go, there's really in-depth discussions going on and presentations from world-leading scientists presenting the science of climate change, presenting how much emissions reductions different mitigation strategies can achieve, for example. Now, as a scientist, I certainly find that really encouraging. Okay, so it's day 6 here at COP, and today is the day of the big climate march going on outside. So 100,000 people are marching through the streets of Glasgow to demand sort of greater ambition and climate action going on here on the inside. And what's going on here? My goodness. Where do I start? So I've just been in a really interesting session on mangroves and the contribution they can make to locking up carbon and how to make mangrove conservation, again, more effective so it can deliver more as a nature-based solution to climate change. So it's my last day at COP today, day 7, and I'm in the green zone today, the public-facing part of COP, which anyone can come into. The rest of the week I've been in the blue zone, which is UN territory, and you have to be an official delegate or observer to be there. And I've just heard some children singing about their future and their hopes for the future, and I got quite emotional. It's been a busy week, and there has been progress at COP this week, but I think everything rests on the next 7 to 8 days.